Alright folks, it's that time of year. Black Friday specials are already starting to come in. Been looking out there just a little bit today. A-Main Hobbies, Traxxas, Red Cat, lots of folks actually already putting out holiday deals. I'm going to show you the deals that I have found, but if you see other deals that you think people need to know about, please leave them down in the video comments and I'll try to add them in to make sure that people do see all of this. Hey, everybody's got to save every penny they can. So while we're out here scouting out some deals, let's look out for each other. Let me know down in the comments if you see anything that's just amazing that other folks need to see. And here is your super quick rundown of what you should be on the lookout for right now. And I'm going to start with one of the biggest that's out there is the Traxxas X-Max. It is something that I know and love. It is literally still hanging on the wall. It is still one of my favorite trucks. It's what got me back into this hobby. But there's a problem with the X-Max, and this is that it's really expensive. And so normal price around like $1,100 for an X-Max. So like, I mean, it's a lot of money, but not right now. $200 less, $899 right now. That is a staggering deal. And if some of you need to really help me here, because I've always kind of been looking at the XRT like, man, maybe I want an XRT because I really like my X-Max. Maybe I want its brother, the XRT. Normally $1,000 down to $799. Tell me I don't need an XRT. Somebody out there, please tell me I don't need one. And while we're on big things, the only ARMA on the whole list that I've seen so far, I've seen lots of ARMA parts and things like that, but the only actual vehicle, 6S ARMA Big Rock. Kind of surprised there. But that truck, normally $700 for a 6S vehicle, which seems like a lot, if I'm honest. $549. So again, saving you a big chunk of money off of there. That's the only ARMA that's out there on the sale as of right now. But if you're into a little bit different speed, want something just a little bit different, I had a lot of blast with my Red Cat COE hauler, and they've got it on special. Instead of $550, it's down to $349, $200 off of this truck. And what's really cool about that is that if you get that truck for that reduced price, $200 is the savings that you have there is all that you actually need to upgrade this truck. You put the lifting and lowering kit on it. Maybe you put a winch on it. You put some extra lights on it. You put the, maybe like a smoke system and all that. And you can do all of that stuff for that $200. You'll be all in with one of the baddest rides that you can get. I mean, they truly did quite a remarkable job on that Red Cat COE hauler. But while we're talking about Red Cat, they're throwing a whole bunch of sales out there. Crawlers especially. So we're going to start at the top. The Ascent Fusion, normally just shy of $400, now $320, $319. That is a staggering deal. This is literally one of my favorite crawlers that I have right now. This is the one. If I go out to do something crawling, this is almost always the vehicle that I'm grabbing and taking with me. It's dang near just upgraded straight out of the box. Highly recommend it. If you're thinking about getting into 10 scale crawling right now, this sale on the Ascent Fusion is kind of a no-brainer. But if that 320 is still a little bit spendy for you, then they have the Gen 8, normally $330 down to $263, which is a oddly specific number, actually, $263. But $70 off. It's a very solid crawler. Does great on trails and all that kind of stuff. Does not have the performance of that Ascent Fusion at all. But it's still an absolutely blast of a vehicle. And you can always get the Ascent itself, so not the Ascent Fusion. Normally $299, now $239. So the problem with that, though, is you're giving up the Fusion SE, you're giving up the carbon fiber chassis, you're giving up all that stuff. It's really worth it to just spend the extra money and get the Fusion instead of the Ascent, even though it is that, what is that, $80 cheaper or something like that? Spend the extra money and get the Fusion, really. I mean, if smaller is your thing, they do have the Ascent 18, normally $120 down to $96. So when this thing first came out and it was under $100, they sold like hotcakes. They jacked the price up to like that $120-ish, which is still very fair for what you're getting on that truck. It's still one of the best like 18th scale, small scale crawlers that you can get. $120 is still a very fair price, but at $96, it's really good. So if you've been on the fence waiting to get one of these, now is the time. But then there is the Axial SCX 24 at $40 off, which is a pretty hefty discount on those crawlers. You can get into it, and it's even cheaper, $79 total dollars once out the door for this SEX24. It's a good deal. But if I'm honest, I would 100% get the Ascent 18 over it. Yeah, it is that $20 more expensive, something along those lines. 100% worth that extra $20. Get the Ascent 18. If crawling's just really not your thing, you still want to go fast, but you kind of want to go like scale fast, Traxxas UDR. I've never owned one. I've driven a bunch of my friends and all that kind of stuff. In the right environment, they are pretty dang awesome. We actually drove one around a racetrack one time. It was a blast. Normally $750 though. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for what you're getting there. But at $150 off at $599, that sounds a little more doable. So that is a great deal on the Traxxas UDR. If you're interested in one, it's a good time to snag one. But I know a lot of you folks out there follow the channel because of the drift stuff and all the drifting things that I do. And you know that is like at the core really where my heart is a lot in the RC community. Red Cat ready to run RDS, $80 off down to $319. $319 for an absolute ready to run Red Cat RDS. This is a good deal. They run these occasionally, and now is one of those times. Scoop it up while you can. Now, yes, a lot of you also point out the MST RMX is also on sale down to $349. So it's $30 more. It's still a good deal. $350 for that ready to run MST RMX is the brushless model. Is a solid deal. I'd take the Red Cat over it, honestly, and it's $30 cheaper. So that's at least where I sit with that. And then lastly, again, this is one of those, I need you folks to talk me out of it. Futaba 10PX. Kind of always wanted one just to try it and just to see, and I have those fancy Futaba GYD 550 gyros and all that, and oh, you pair them together and they do all sorts of really fun stuff, but I've never wanted to. The 10PX is so expensive. So expensive. Normally $799, on sale for $699. $100 off. I don't know. Is it finally time that I pull the trigger on it? I've talked about it so much and I've never actually done it. Is it finally time? I don't know. Okay, so like I said earlier, this is what I have found so far that really, really caught my eye. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's like 1,000 things plus that are on the list as of right now. A bunch of them are smaller parts and things along those lines where you're saving $1 or $2. So like, kind of what's the point? But here's what I want to do. I'm going to leave a link in the video description also, not just to these deals that I found specifically that I think are kind of the highlights, but also to the whole sale. If you see anything in there that, you know, anybody else needs to know about, what did I miss? Please leave them down in the video comments, and I'll try to update the video description with links and all that so that whoever comes through here can find all of them. So yeah, do me a favor, click that link in the video description, go out there, check the sales, see what you find out there that's a really good deal, and let me know. I'd appreciate it. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you in the comments. Bye.